Hey folks, welcome to another day, another unboxing. I've got the Pixel 5a here, the 5G version. Of course, there's only a 5G version this year. This is the mid-range Pixel for 2021. Only one model. It's got a bigger screen, a bigger battery, a metal build, and a water-resistant rating. And that's about the only difference between this phone and the Pixel 4a 5G from 2020. So I'm here to unbox it with you. Here's a box. Here's what it looks like. There's some iMaze and stuff there. 1, 2, and ta-da! All right, nothing inside. Aha, so this color is called Mostly Black, and it is a unibody metal finish, supposedly. And as you can see, the camera pod looks very familiar, same cameras as before. So let me put that aside and see what else is in the box. We've got SIM removal tool here with some documentation. And that's it, really. All right, let's see. We've got a little Google thing. Safety warranty, we don't care about that. It's your typical Google documentation. I'll scroll through it for you. Here you go. And in the back, it is in Spanish. All right. Now there's an 18-watt charger here in the box, USB Type-C. Nothing too crazy here. All right. And we've got the usual cord, Type-C to Type-C, as you can see here and there. And the Type-A to Type-C adapter, which always comes with a Pixel, so you can transfer things from an iPhone or another Android phone that might not have a Type-C cord. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. Let's have a look at the phone, shall we? So the big difference here is the larger display. Let me turn this on and I'll show you. This has a 6.34 inch display instead of a 6.2 like last year. And it's actually a little narrower and taller. So it's a 20:9 aspect ratio versus 19.5:9. And it still has the hole punch with the same 8 megapixel camera as last year. As you can see, a tiny little bit of a more bezel at the chin, but it's not too obvious. It's actually pretty well done. So while it's booting, let me walk you through the edges real quick. So you got the power lock key, which is ridged, a first for a Pixel, and it's like this silver gray color. Then you've got the volume rocker here. Going around the bottom, you've got 2 slots that hide the speakers and microphone. There is actually 2 speakers. One here, and the earpiece is used for the other speaker for stereo audio. And USB Type-C, and then on the left-hand side you have nothing but the nano SIM slot. And on top you have a headphone jack and secondary microphone. Pretty standard fare. And the fingerprint sensor is on the back like many previous Pixels. And yeah, the camera pod here. Let me walk you through the cameras. So this is exactly the same setup we've seen multiple times before, right? So we're looking at a 12.2 megapixel main camera, 1.4 micron pixel, f/1.7. This has OIS and PDAF. And then a 16 megapixel ultra wide, 1 micron pixels, f/2.2, 117 degree field of view, and you got the LED flash here. So yeah, nothing too crazy. As a reminder, that 8 megapixel front camera is a f/2.0 1.12 micron pixel camera. Again, it's the same as last year. So in terms of cameras, everything is the same. Processor is the same. It's a Snapdragon 765G. RAM and storage are the same, 6 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes of storage. There's no micro SD here, so forget expanding that in any way. And again, the screen is bigger, still AMOLED, but only 60 Hertz. Nothing's changed there. If you were expecting 90 Hertz, like I would have loved to see, that's a bit of a bummer. You can actually see the earpiece up here, so that's pretty well hidden. And then again, in terms of battery, this is bigger than last year. So now we have a 4680 milliamp hour battery versus 3885 last year. So that's like a pretty big bump. Now the phone's a little thicker because of it, but you wouldn't really notice. It's just in the measurements. It's 8.8 millimeter versus 8.2. But you know, nobody's gonna notice. It's a little heavier as well, I presume because of the unibody metal. It does not feel like metal to me though at first impression. So I'm not sure if they're doing the same as they did with the Pixel 5, where it was coated in plastic metal frame, or it's actually really unibody metal. Not quite sure. Anyway, it does have NFC, but it does not have wireless charging, so that's something to keep in mind. And of course, 18-watt charging is all you're going to get. So that's it, folks. That's a quick look at the Pixel 5a 5G. Sub 6 gigahertz 5G only here, of course, no millimeter wave. $450 for this phone. It's $50 cheaper than the 4a 5G from last year. That to me is great news. So you get a bigger display, bigger battery, and of course you get an IP67 water resistant rating, and that is a pretty big deal, you know, going from nothing to that. Yeah, so metal construction, water resistance, bigger screen, bigger battery, everything else identical to last year. No wireless charging, no 90 hertz display, little things we would have liked, but $50 less. So that's it, folks. My Pixel 5a unboxing. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, click the little notification bell below to find out when I post my next video. And remember, this is a compliment to my podcast at mobiletechpodcast.com. So if you want to hear my review on this phone, you're going to have to listen to the podcast. It's on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, everywhere good podcasts can be found. So please tell your friends, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. Cheers, everybody.